Lifestyle Live. Come and see, you'll agree. There's a positive energy. Lifestyle Live.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Lifestyle Live Podcast.
Faces you know and a team you can trust. Stories that form your heart. Lifestyle Live. Lifestyle Live.
He is a self-made serial entrepreneur and CEO and is known for creating something out of nothing and being a thought leader of the future. On this Lifestyle Live podcast episode, Ben Lytle, author of the new book, The Potentialist, Your Life in the New Reality of the Next 30 Years, discusses the most drastic change or changes he sees happening compared to how we're living today, along with the top actions students, parents, and their grandparents can take to prepare for the decades ahead. This is the Lifestyle Live podcast on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Lifestyle Live.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale, up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Sue, returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
Lifestyle Live.
Our next guest is a self-made serial entrepreneur, CEO, known for creating something out of nothing and a thought leader of the future.
Yeah, Ben Lytle is the author of the new book, The Potentialist, Your Life in the New Reality of the Next 30 Years. And Ben, welcome to our show.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for being here.
This is your first book, you said, and
Yep.
Why did you write this book?
Well, a few years ago, I've always been something of a futurist and follow technology trends and where we're headed. That's one of the things that made my career successful. And I began to realize a few years ago that the next few decades, the world's going to change more than it has in centuries and maybe in millennia. And people really weren't prepared. And there are a lot of books on the future, and there's some great people out there, but they tend to write about just the technology and not how it's going to impact everyday people. So that's why I wrote the book.
That's so interesting. And you talk about the research that went into this. I mean, this is something, first of all, you want to make sure you get right. But like you said, this is 30 years really sort of condensed down.
Yeah, that's most of the books that are on the future. They don't actually sell that well, and people don't read them a lot because they're dense and they take. And so I said, okay, I've got to get this down to where people
you
can
simplify it too.
Yeah, to really get it where they can understand this is how it's going to affect me, and this is what it means, and this is why we have this kind of change. What we're in is called the 4th Industrial Revolution, and it's a period of accelerating change. So things change very fast.
So what is next?
Well, the first thing is that we're going to work's going to change. The work's going to tend to be much more creative in the future and involve complex human relationships, much less repetitive, because that's what computers can do, is repetitive stuff. And our lifestyles are going to expand. We've already seen that with work from anywhere. It's changing people's lifestyles, but actually we're going to change. We as individuals are going to change because we're going to get further integrated with automation. And we've all experienced that with iPhones, right? We're really the same folks as we were before iPhones.
Kind of crazy, right? Because it makes you think, if things are the way they are now, what is this going to be like in 10, 20 years? Sometimes that's hard to fathom.
It is hard to fathom, and it's hard to fathom how it really expands human potential, because as you integrate tighter and tighter with automation, first of all, you become dependent on it, but you become a more powerful creature if you think about it. I mean, if we went back 100 years ago, people would look at us as Superman. We don't get lost.
Right,
we can answer any question.
Yeah.
So when you start thinking about it like that, you have to say, well, what am I going to contribute? When I have this kind of expanded power and potential, what can I contribute to the world? What's the best thing that I can personally do? And so it's a book it's optimistic, pragmatically optimistic. It can be tough getting through this next 30 years because it's going to change, life's going to change so much. But at the end of the day, our potential to be a greater society is wonderful.
Should we be a little bit scared about the future?
I hear that. Well, part of my message is to try to get people to be pragmatically optimistic and not fearful. Because when you're fearful, you make mistakes.
Yeah.
You make bad mistakes. If you're pessimistic, you don't see opportunity. You can't even see it right in front of you. And so there's going to be so much opportunity, so many things that we can do, and problems we can solve we've never been able to solve. That's what we ought to be focusing on.
It's kind of exciting and interesting all at the same time, too.
It is.
Because, and I know we're going to wrap this up, but back in the day, I feel like we would say, could you imagine if I could just type this address in and then a voice just tells me where to go? Oh, that's just in the future.
Now,
you're thinking, wait a minute. This is what we do now. What is the potential of what's next to come?
What if you could just think it and it appeared in your head? What if you could just say what you want?
Read our minds. I could do that.
No, it's one way.
Well, Ben, thank you so much for being here.
Lifestyle Live. Lifestyle Live.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Lifestyle Live Podcast. Thank you for listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And connect for even more on Facebook and at lifestylelive.tv.
Faces you know and a team you can trust. Stories that form your heart.